This isn't supposed to be happening, guys. Just days after Canada's election, the country is in absolute chaos. It's wild. You got Mark Carney, hailed by the media as Canada's strongman against President Trump. He has already crumbled under pressure. And now, well, Canada is falling apart, guys. You got protests, you've got petitions, you've got political betrayal on a scale that this generation has frankly never seen before. By the way, guys, if you are able to see and hear me today, please drop a quick yes in the comments down below and hit the like button. I really appreciate you guys. Liberal voters, they feel scammed. Conservative voters, well, they feel silenced, okay? And Alberta, well, they're openly threatening to secede from the country altogether. Oh, and the man, Carney, promised to fight. Remember that guy? I think his name was Donald Trump. Yeah. Trump didn't even flinch, guys. In fact, Carney just called him up and begged for a deal. He begged for a deal. So this is political buyer's remorse like you've never seen before, guys. And it's not just embarrassing. It's actually dangerous if you think about it, because what happens next could rip Canada apart for good. Now, in just a moment, you're going to see the shocking number of Canadians that are now calling for Alberta to break away from the country. Drop a 51 if you think that Canada would be better off becoming the 51st state of the United States. Drop a quick 51 if you support that idea. I know Trump wants that to happen, but Canadian leadership, they're against it. But you're going to also hear what Trump really said about Carney's backpedal and why even some conservative Americans are absolutely stunned, guys. And of course, we got to uncover Carney's disturbing lies to China that mainstream media refuse to talk about. So anyway, buckle up, guys, because this is not just about Canada. This is about what happens to globalist puppets who get a lot of power, they lie to the people, and they fall flat on their face in front of the whole world to see. Now, if you're ready for all of these lying... Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below. Sacks of, you know what, to literally fall on their face. Just drop a quick 47 in the comments down below, guys. All right. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. All right. So let's go and dive into what is actually going on here, because it's not just a few people that are posting a couple of angry tweets here and there, guys. This is a full-blown unraveling of Canada's political stability. And this is happening at lightning speed. And so just days after the polls closed, Canada has erupted into massive unrest. The streets, guys, it's pandemonium over there. Streets are filled with protesters. You got social media flooded with outrage. People are mad. And for once, it's not just one political side pointing fingers. It's everybody. Guys, liberal voters they're feeling instantly duped. Conservatives are furious. People in Alberta, whoo, they're ready to ditch the country completely. Isn't that wild, right? And guys, we're talking about real-time national breakdown just days into a new administration. And guess what? This isn't even the craziest part yet. In just a moment, I'm going to reveal the shocking number of Canadians who've already signed an official petition to secede from Canada altogether. Now, by the way, guys, if you're turning 65, if you're already 65, if your parents are turning 65 or are over 65, make sure to give our friends over at Chapter or Call. They're saving folks money left and right, okay? The vast majority of folks who are out here who have Medicaid plans, or have Medicare plans, I should say, are overpaying. I mean, we have multiple people reporting on a regular basis. Hey, Ron, thank you so much. You just saved me $500 a year on my Medicare insurance, and you got me more exposure and benefits I didn't even know I even had. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I'll leave a link for chapter down below. Their service is totally free. They're the nicest people in the world. And literally just call them up and say, hey, Ron told me to call you. Can you save me any money on my Medicare? That's literally all you got to do. And their service is totally free. And all they want to do is help people. If they can't help you, like if you're already in the best plan possible, they're going to tell you. But if there is a better plan, and it could possibly save you some money, they're going to tell you about that too. And then you just decide, hey, do you want to save money or not? Anyway, link in the description down below. But so how did all this start, guys? Well, it all comes down to one man, Mark Carney, this so-called savior of Canada's liberal elite, right? This guy, he ran a campaign promising to stand up to President Trump, to take a hard line against tariffs, you know, to push back against American border policy, and of course, to protect Canada from what the media called Trump bullying, right? But guess what happens? What happened later is, let's just say within about 48 hours, and I mean literally 2 days, Mark Carney, he's on the phone with President Trump begging to make a deal. What a little BI, right? Like, I'm not exaggerating here. Trump himself said it. Carney reached out, congratulated him, and now he's flying to the White House for a one-on-one meeting. Now, first of all, what I'm seeing here, and just drop a yes or no if you see what I'm seeing here, okay, guys? What I'm seeing here is I'm seeing some of these leaders putting on this front for the media, but then behind the scenes, they're showing the utmost respect for Trump. And it's like they're trying to look all big and bad in front of the camera, but when they go to talk to Trump, it's completely different. It's kind of like when your parents tell you to do something, you're going to go ahead and do it while they're standing in front of you. But then once your parents have left the room, you might, say some things that are on your mind that you didn't have the courage to say while your dad was standing there. That's the way it feels like to me. Does that feel the same way to you guys? Anyway, so let's get this straight. Carney spent months warning Canadians about President Trump, but now he's currently like crawling back to Trump before the ink is even dry on his victory speech. Unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't make this up if I tried. But here's where it gets even wilder, because liberal voters who thought that they were electing a fighter, they're now actually calling Carney a sellout. A freaking sellout, guys. Do y'all think Carney's a sellout? If you do, let me know. And wait until you hear what conservatives are saying. Oh, man. So if you thought that things couldn't get any worse, oh, wait, because they do. Because what's happening right now is a political betrayal on both sides of the aisle, okay? The anger is boiling over. It's absolutely crazy, guys. So let's go ahead and start with the left. So liberal voters who thought that they were electing a man who would fight President Trump tooth and nail, they are now waking up to a brutal reality. They just got played. Yep. So Carney's entire campaign was built on resistance. Resist the tariffs, resist border security, resist American energy dominance. This guy stood on stage and he promised, hey, I'm going to hold the line, guys. We're going to hold the line. Less than 48 hours, this wimp, 48 hours after winning, he picks up the phone and starts sweet talking President Trump like a nervous intern asking for a promotion. Unbelievable. And the very people who screamed, we need to stand up to Trump, they're watching this guy fold like a lawn chair in a windstorm. They're livid. They're absolutely livid. But folks, if you think liberal outrage is explosive, wait until you see what's happening with the conservative side. So Canadian conservatives who were already exhausted by Justin Trudeau's globalist circus, they had one simple hope, that this emergency election would be their chance to stop the madness. And what they got instead, well, they got another 4 years of the exact same thing, but with a new puppet. These guys are all puppets in here. None of these guys are actually in control. Mark Carney isn't some bold reformer. This guy is basically Justin Trudeau 2.0 wearing a slightly more expensive suit. This guy, he's looked at as being like a weak, unprincipled, and totally controlled by the same elite interests that got Canada into this mess in the first place. Now, to conservatives, this wasn't just some political loss. This was a slap in the face. a clear message that their voice, their values, their vision for Canada, none of that means anything to the power brokers that are running Ottawa. And now that rage is turning into something even more, kind of a lot more serious than just tweets and protests. One province is actively trying to break away from Canada, and the movement is growing fast. Now, I'm going to break that down for you guys in just a second, but what we need to talk about is the movement that's got this whole nation and maybe even the White House on edge. So right now in Alberta, the anger it's turned into action. And this isn't just about protests anymore, guys. This is about leaving Canada. Over 29,000 Canadians, and that number is actually rising by the hour. It's probably like closer to 35,000 by now. They have signed a petition calling for Alberta to succeed the country. Now, that's right, guys. One of the wealthiest, most resource-rich provinces in the entire country, they want out. And can you blame them? Albertans are sick and tired of being ruled by politicians in Ottawa who don't represent them, who don't listen, who treat the West like there's some kind of a political punching bag. And the big question here is this: what happens if they actually go through with it? Do they become their own country, or do they join the United States, where energy is booming, taxes are lower, and leadership is actually a backbone? Either way, this is no longer some fringe fantasy. This is a growing movement that's gaining some real momentum, and it's sending a loud and clear message to the rest of Canada. We're done being ignored. Now, if you're Canadian, drop a quick Canada in the comments down below. Shout out to my Canadians up north. But if Alberta is planning their exit, who's really to blame for pushing them this far, right? Well, let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend at the center of all this, Mark Carney, and how his spineless leadership is making everything worse. So Mark Carney, he's not just unpopular, he's becoming a national punchline. Why? Well, because even his own supporters now realize the guy stands for nothing. He's not a leader, he's a weather vane. He essentially shifts positions left and right based on whichever way the wind happened to be blowing in Brussels or Davos or Beijing. Whatever earns him the loudest applause from the global elite, that's what he'll do. This guy's a freaking tool. There's no courage, there's no backbone, there's no conviction, a loyalty to the Canadian people. None. No, there's no loyalty to Canadians. Just a weak, soft-spoken puppet, if you will, who's more concerned about climate conferences and some UN panels than about jobs and freedom and sovereignty. And when you put a guy like that in charge during a time of crisis, you're not going to get stability. You get collapse. You get provinces trying to leave. You get voters from both sides ready to burn it all down. And speaking of collapse, wait until you hear what Carney did when President Trump asked him for a simple $2 billion border deal. What Carney did instead might be the dumbest and probably even the most expensive mistake in Canadian political history. So let's talk about one of the dumbest, most reckless decisions a new leader could possibly make. One that didn't just embarrass Canada on the world stage, but it may have actually lit a fuse on this entire political explosion, guys. When President Trump asked Mark Carney to contribute just $2 billion towards strengthening our shared border, Carney laughed in his face. Now, let me repeat that. Instead of working with the U.S. to secure both nations, Carney rejected it outright and pushed a $30.9 billion Trump-proof defense budget instead. $30.9 billion for what? Optics? Maybe. Virtue signaling? Possibly. It was one of the cockiest moves that we've ever seen. And now it's completely backfiring because Carney is right back on the phone begging Trump for a new deal, the same Trump that he tried to outmaneuver about a week ago. So this isn't leadership, guys. This is freaking ego. This is delusion. And it left Canada really in a weaker position than ever before. And so, you know what's even crazier? Voters saw this coming, and now they're pissed off. And we're seeing one of the fastest growing cases of political buyer's remorse in modern history now. So across the country, all the way from Toronto to Calgary to Vancouver, Canadians are waking up and they're saying, look, what the hell did we just vote for? Liberals feel concerned. They feel conned. Conservatives feel trapped. And independents, well, they're disgusted with the whole system. Carney's collapse didn't take months or even weeks. It happened in like 48 hours. Less than 48 hours, really. Canadians were promised strength. What they got was a surrender. They were promised change. What they got was Justin Trudeau 2.0 in a higher, more expensive, overinflated price suit. And so now, this sense of betrayal is just fueling this wave of anger. Like, it's kind of unlike anything we've seen before. It's not just frustration. It's full-blown regret. It's like, oh my God, we got to deal with this crap for 4 more years now. And people they're ready to take drastic action because of it. But the next part may be the most chilling of all, because while Canadians are regretting their vote, many are also asking one question. Who's really pulling Carney strings, right? Like, his ties to China and global elites, it might explain a lot. Now, if everything that you've heard so far sounds like a disaster, believe it or not, it gets even darker. Because there's one question that nobody in mainstream media wants to ask. Who is Mark Carney really working for? Well, guys, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? Mark Carney's suspicious ties to Beijing aren't some fringe conspiracy. They're real, and they're deeply troubling. So he's been photographed at CCP-linked events. He's praised the Chinese model of economic control, and he's quietly supported globalist policies that line up exactly with what the Chinese Communist Party wants. A weak, divided West that can be bought and sold at will. Now ask yourself this, guys. Why would a Canadian Prime Minister show more respect to China than to his own people in Alberta? Any ideas? Why would he capitulate to global pressure while ignoring his own nation's sovereignty? This is the danger of electing a man with no spine and globalist alliances. He's not looking out for Canada. He's looking out for himself. And for the people who put him in power behind the scenes, well, that's who he's really looking out for. But here's where the contrast becomes sends a real crystal clear message here. Because while Carney bows to foreign elites, there is one leader who's doing the exact opposite. Say what you want to say about President Trump, but there's no denying one thing. Trump puts his own country first. No backroom deals with globalists. No bending the knee to China. No begging for applause from the UN. Just bold, unapologetic leadership focused on border security, energy independence, and national pride. And that's the contrast right there, guys. This is exactly why Mark Carney is falling apart while Trump is rising again. Carney represents weakness, compliance, and global control. Trump represents strength, defiance, and self-respect. And so in today's chaotic world, voters, whether they're in Canada, America, or anywhere else, they're all waking up and they're asking one very simple question. What kind of leadership do we want? So now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Canada can survive 4 more years of this kind of leadership? Should Alberta just get up and walk away? And how should the U.S. respond to Canada's growing instability? Guys, drop me a quick comment down below and let your voice be heard. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you guys believe in strong national leadership, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we are just getting started. Also, don't forget to check the pinned comment down below. I'm going to leave a link so that you guys can access access Chapter and see if they can save you some money. Some folks are saving almost $1,000 a year. In fact, I think the average senior is saving about $1,100 a year with Chapter, but again, it's a totally free service. Give them a call, tell them Ron says hello, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below.